This is, as the name implies, a rechargeable LED floodlight, and I have to say I bought it because, well, because I wanted to take it to bits, and I thought it was quite neat. So this particular version was available in various colours, and I'll put a link to the listing I got it on the description down below. So this one, as this label alludes to, is green. So let's see what we get. We get a charger. Looks like the standard sort of LED supply, the sort of 12 volt thing. We get a cigarette lighter charger. The light itself and the base. Okay. So the box says that this takes about 5 hours to charge and then runs for 4 hours, and it is supposedly rated 10 watts. Whether it's actually rated 10 watts or just happens to have the 10 watt LED, I'm not really sure. Let's open it and find out. It looks it's quite an attractive little light, I have to say. It's got a very deep box in the back, which has lots of tick boxes that go up 10 watt, 20, 30, 50 watt. They suggest it's got cold white, warm white, green, blue, red, lithium battery, 7.4 volt, 4.4 amp hour, 8.4 amp hour, 40.8. It's available in quite a range of things, but none of these boxes are ticked. So let's just get the lid off it. On the bottom, it does have this switch. Let's try it out. Oh, that's actually quite a greeny white. It's not. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be cold or warm white, but it's a very odd colour. It's almost like gaslight white, although you guys are probably too young to remember what gaslight looked like. Oh, and there's the charging socket. Okay. Let's open it. My dad was a gaslight fanatic, so we had some gaslighting in the house. It came in useful during a time when there were a lot of power cuts. So I'm guessing this is mainly going to be battery at the back of this to run for such a long time. Ooh, almost there. Okay, right. There's a little potted module. That is the electronics. I wonder if that controls charge as well. I only see 2 wires going to it. Ooh. There's a couple of what look like 18650s in the back. The charging socket goes up to here, and actually, you know what? The lithium cell goes straight onto there are only 2 connections in the charging socket. And they both go to the lithium cell. Where's the charge control? Oh, right, okay. This power supply says 8.4 volts, 1 amp. Oh, right, so this is charging the cells directly. It looks like it's got a... In fact, is that just a standard connector? Could you accidentally plug... There must be charging control circuitry in here. But just out of interest, let's try this plug. It might not fit. It might be they've keyed it. So that's a standard 12 volt type connector. You know, the LED power supplies. Let's see if that is connected directly to the lithium cells. .66 volts. Okay. So I think you'd have to be careful just from seeing that. I think you'd have to be careful you didn't accidentally pick up a 12 volt power supply and plug it into that, because I see an LED in the back of this. I wonder. Hold on, let me just plug this in. It's the only way to find out, really. Let's bring a socket in and plug it in. So I've got a green LED and a red LED, so that is the charging. Let's see what the voltage is in the output of this. Let's see how accurate it is. So this is supposed to be an 8.4 volt charger. And the voltage in the output is 8.28. Okay. Oh, I've just been landed on by a spider randomly. Ooh, get that off. Okay. So the fact that that LED changes colour means this is ultimately it's the charger. It's going to put out a regulated supply. I wonder if there's charge balancing in these batteries at the back. I suppose the only way to find out is to try and get them out, but they seem to be... Are they glued in? I can see white silicon suggesting they're kind of glued in there. Okay, well let's I might actually hike those out. Yeah, I'll do it afterwards though. I'll do another wee test first here. I shall set my power supply, because if I just bypass the switch here, I can actually power this module directly from, let's set the power supply to about 8.4 volts to emulate the battery being there, and we'll see what sort of current it draws. So that's set to 8.4 volts, and the current is set for 2 amps here. So if that's the positive, try not to short stuff out here, that would be quite violent. And that is the negative. Actually, you know what, before I even do this, because I have been caught that way before, let's make sure the polarity is right. Because red doesn't always mean positive in China. So I'm reckoning that this is the positive and this the negative. Actually, I should turn it on, that would be really helpful. Yes, it is. Red is positive, that's nice. So let's get the crocodile clips on here. Let's turn that back off again so I don't end up charging the battery from the power supply. Get that on there, and the lamp is now lit, the LED is now lit, and the current it's drawing at 8.4 volts is 1 amp actually. It's almost dead on 1 amp, 1.03. So that is, technically speaking, that's about 8.4 watts. So it's pretty close to the 10 watt rating. Now, how's that going to go as it goes down? So turning this down now, to emulate the battery voltage going down. Now let's see, 2 cells would be about, say, 3 volts at the end of the charge, so that would be about 6 volts. Let's turn it down to 6 volts and see if this cuts off. The LED is getting quite dim. I get the feeling, you know, at this point it's at 6 volts and it's drawing 200 milliamps, which is about, yeah, that's about 1.2 watts, is it? Yeah. So the intensity is going to drop quite dramatically as the battery runs down, which may be how they get their long run time, if it does that run time. So does it automatically cut out if the voltage goes down lower? So, oh, very uneven LED illumination in this. It's a shit LED, in other words. Still lit down at 3 volts, so that, and it's still drawing 17 milliamps. So unless there's protection built into the batteries, which the only way I'm going to find out is to remove them, then if you leave this running for too long, it's going to potentially over-discharge those cells. But I might be wrong, they might actually have protection in them. Let's get in here and get them out. So let's just chop things. Actually, let's just chop that off as well and get complete access. Thinking of modifying this. Can I get these cells out? They seem to be well glued in. I'm just trying to think, is there anything I can prise them out with that isn't going to punching them because I don't particularly wish them to start melting down. They are well glued in. Can I just... you know what? I could slit the outer layer of the heat shrink, and that would theoretically leave the heat shrink behind and release the two cells, letting us see if there's protection in them or not. Ooh. So yeah, let's this not coming out terribly easy. Maybe I should have paused the video for this bit. It's quite stiff heat shrink. I wonder what capacity the cells will be. It's going to be either 2 amp hour type cells, or it's going to be the really cheapy 1 amp hour type cells. Is this giving me access yet? Got a couple of layers of tape in there, I think, by the look of it. But I only need the one to actually get it out. Is that going to come out yet? Oh, this is turning out very messy. Yeah, I maybe should have paused the video, shouldn't I? I wonder if the glue's actually right into the point it's actually... where are my pliers? My pliers are nowhere to be seen. They've done a runner. Okay. Get out. This is so well glued in. Oh, here it comes. And now, with all that messing around, the glue in the back has come off anyway. Okay, let's get in here. Is there a circuit board under there? Because I don't see any protection at all. There is a circuit board. Right, that's interesting. And it is connected to the midpoint, so there is potentially overcharge and over-discharge protection then. Yes, it's got the little controller chip there, and I'm guessing these are the little MOSFET packages. Well, that's quite reassuring. Oh, that has just popped off the end. The spot weld has just popped off the end of that one. That's not so reassuring, but that's okay. That does suggest that, you know, there's protection for these, for both overcharge and over-discharge, so that's nice to know. It does say 2200 milliamp hour on the side. Well, I mean, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. So, yes, I think I'll have a wee play with this, but I'm kind of like wondering what's under the resin here, but that is solid hard resin. But I'm guessing fundamentally that's just the step-up driver to an ordinary LED. It's oh no, that LED is not ordinary. That LED has 2 rows of 4 chips. Oh well, off comes the front as well then. This is where black on a black background doesn't really work that well. I've been experimenting in the past with different coloured backgrounds, and I thought that white washed things out too much and the black provided the best contrast. But having said that, when you've got a black thing on a black background, it's not that exciting. It really kind of masks it. Also, I've locked off the exposure, so it's not going to be quite as bright as it would normally. So what do we have here? I'm quite pleased it's got that protection of the batteries. I didn't actually expect that. and it's reassuring that it does have it in there, that it's got a sort of charge balancer. That's good. I could probably have found that out by running it and seeing if it suddenly cut off. But I've only just received this, so well, we don't mess around, we just take it a bit straight away. Right, so I'm actually seeing 8 LEDs. It's not like the 9 LED chip, it's not 3x3. It looks like there's 2 rows of 4, probably each pair is actually, it's probably 4 vertical columns of 2 LEDs in series to give a combined voltage of about, that would be about 6 volts, which of course once you've got the, it must have been stepping the voltage up, because I'm pretty sure that I took the voltage down much lower than that. Let's hook it up and find out, shall we? I'll just strip these and stick the bench power supply on it. So it's currently set at 5 volts, so I'll stick that one on there. And we'll actually measure the voltage across the... Now I can see already that in here, not all the LEDs are lit at that. I mean, as I turn the voltage up, more will light, because it suggests that they're not really, they've got a lot of that parasitic resistance thing going across them, you know, faults of resistance. So let's measure the voltage across the chip itself. The voltage is 5 volts, which is what's coming out of the power supply. Is there anything in that little that little resin block? Let's turn the voltage up on the power supply. So now the voltage in the power supply is up around about 8 volts. The voltage across the LED is about 7 volts. I wonder if that's actually a switching converter or just a resistor in there. Doesn't feel particularly warm. Let's put this to resistance and see if there's anything exciting in it. So I'm going on the negative terminal here. And that shows straight through. Actually, it shows about a resistance of about 1.1, but that might just be a lead resistance. What about on the positive? No, I actually think that was a resistor in the negative, because which would suggest about 1 ohm. Would that be right? It might be reading electronic circuitry in there, but I'm not 100% sure. And it is potted, but with such a low voltage LED, you'd think it could. It's got heatsink compound all over it. You would think that it could, all it would really need, given that the way the current didn't regulate as the voltage went down, the current went down with the voltage. I think this may actually just be a resistor in here. I could be wrong, but it's my first suspicion. I wonder why they potted it like that. Is it just to keep it secure or hide their secret electronic circuitry? I'm not really sure. Maybe there is a current regulator, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's... You know, it's gone up my expectations just by the fact it's got that protection, but I will say that if you accidentally plugged a 12 volt power supply into this, that would potentially dump a lot of current. I'm not sure if that would actually protect against that. And it would be quite easy to do, because there are so many of the 12 volt power supplies that look exactly like that. But yeah, this is an interesting light. It's a good base for, you know, a project light. I might keep it as it is, or I might modify it with a different style of battery pack and maybe a different style of LED, because the application I was thinking of, sort of low-level garden lighting, would not require the full 10 watts, and I'd rather sacrifice intensity and instead have a much longer runtime, you know, so you could just leave it out all evening. But yeah, that actually turned out okay. That's quite an interesting little light.